Goodness, Rob. Okay, then what's good, man? W number back in the building. Got my man Rob here, bro. This shit's gonna be lit. We got some people in the house already, man. My boy George. We're dropping the old school W number. Get W59302. 59. That's an old ass number right there, bro. My boy Bill Green with his W number 114202. And with just in light of the fact that this is the 1 year anniversary yesterday of the W number podcast, man, we're gonna get into a little bit of shit today, bro. We've made more of an impact this in this 1 year than I ever thought I could have on so many different people's lives, not even just on the guests, but on the people that watch, the viewers, and just everybody, man, their family, people that hear their truths for the first time, just so many different things, bro. I appreciate everybody too, man. K Razy, Ma, what's going on? Everybody who drops a W number in the chat. This is the 1 year anniversary. It's gonna be lit, man. Rob, what's going on, bro? We're gonna get into your life today, but real quick, right before we get into his episode, I'm gonna read you a little something because this is how I started this shit. So this is what I'm gonna do, bro. This is how I'm gonna keep on going because I feel like changing up is never good, bro. Right? So even though I am a free man with no master, I have become a slave to all the people to bring many to Christ, bro. And that's a little verse out of the Bible, and I feel like it represents exactly what I'm doing, man. I become a slave to this shit, bro. Just trying to bring a message to everybody, bro. Uplifting, man. We could do this shit. What up, Steve Cohen? How you doing, man? So Rob, let's get into your story, bro. I know we just got a few comments. Your video's been blown back up. So let me ask you about these things that these guys have been asking me about, right? And I know I just read this to you, but I think it's a great comment and one that definitely deserves some attention. And I appreciate it too from the guy who left it, man. So I'm gonna get into it right now. Hold up, bear with me. Bang. So it says, "Hey brother, his name's Doc Holiday, bro. Great name too, man. Great name. Hey brother, I found your podcast a few days ago. I've been watching continuously. You're a natural conversationalist. You follow your guest lead and contribute insightfully. I'm a big fan. However, I'd love to see a second installment with this guest who I'm here with today. And he wanted to know some things. I'll skip to that part. He said, I would have loved to hear about his early school days, stories with his brothers, what their stories were, jail stories, prison stories, street stories, any riots, the prevalent gangs and how they evolved and that affected his bid, any notable figures he came across, etc. So that's exactly what we're going to do, bro. We're going to get into his bid and his prison sentence, and we're going to talk about everything he went through inside the joint, which is pretty much, what this podcast has been about and what it's going to be about. So Rob, tell us, introduce yourself, and then we'll get into, some of those early year questions before we get into your prison shit.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the W number. My name is Robert Galiga. I'm from New Bedford, Massachusetts. W number 90434. I got two of them. My next one is W110308. Too many. 110308. And before I get on to that topic, my man was just on here. I want to shout him out. Poolside Sticks, real brother. Check him out if you ain't seen it. I mean, we can go through the whole progression again. You get what I'm saying? So growing up, I grew up in Brickenwood Projects. It's the biggest projects in New Bedford, Massachusetts. At the time, it was the most wildest projects. I'm not sitting here just telling you this to tell you this. If you don't know, go search it up. You'll see. Like I said, I got 6 brothers and 1 sister.
Let me ask you real quick. You say it's the craziest projects, right? So what was like some of the wildest shit you seen growing up in those projects?
I mean, I remember I was 5 years old. 5 years old. I'll never forget this. I was outside on the big wheels. Y'all know the big wheels? The one in the front, 2 in the back. You get what I'm saying? And I was just riding around, minding my own little business. There was a man running around. I didn't think nothing of it. There was a loud bang. Still didn't think nothing of it. I'm still a kid. You get what I'm saying? He ends up getting shot literally like 20 feet away from me. This man ended up dying. I didn't know the whole thing until I got a little bit older. You get what I'm saying? But now that I look back at it, like that's my first time ever witnessing death.
Wow.
So in my mind now, I believe that could have trickled something in my mind that brought me to the path that I was on.
Yeah,
But
so
I don't.
you think like seeing that made it easier for something like that to happen for you? Like you would be more likely to do it yourself because you're, you know, immune to it almost.
Yeah, absolutely. For the simple.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah, I think your video went out a little bit, but I think I'm not sure if it's mine or yours. I think it's yours because yours looks pretty good on here, man. So if anybody could just tell me just exactly how this is looking on my end and sounding on his end, because if it's good on his end, that's fine. But it looks a little blurry when I'm looking at it on my phone, man. I apologize about that lag, bro. Hold up. I'm gonna try to fix this, man. I'm my fault, bro. I'm just fixing this right now because I don't want to do this whole video if it's not gonna be perfect, bro. You know what I mean? Hold up.
Yeah, 100%.
Should be good though. Hold on, let me just move this right quick. Damn, man. My fault, brother. Yeah, so let's just get it like this, bro. Fuck it. So you said that so growing up, you said that was the first time you ever seen somebody get murdered, right? So what
Yeah.
what happened? Do you think that your life got a little bit more hectic from that point forward?
Like I said, I was 5 years old, so I really don't remember much. But as time went on, you know what I mean? Like I was bad in school. I was like extremely bad from school. If a teacher told me something, I would run out the door, go home because the school was right next to the projects if I didn't like what they said. So as time kept going on, things kept progressing. You feel what I'm saying? I started going to mental health counselors. I started to deal with teachers and guidance counselors and things of that sort, trying to better who I was, but it never worked. You get what I'm saying? Then I end up in a mental institution as a little kid, and they was trying to figure out what was wrong with me.
You ended up in a
So
mental institution. Like what kind of?
not a mental institution, like it was a mental rehabilitation. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
where they send kids to be evalved for a couple of days, maybe a week, maybe two. You get what I'm saying? Just to see what's going on with this individual.
Right.
And at that point in my life, man, you know what I mean? Nobody can control me. I remember them telling them I needed medication and stuff like that. So when I ended up getting on medication, I even got worse. I was stealing things now. I was going in cars, taking people's stuff out of their cars, their keys, whatever it is, throwing them on roofs, all type of things like this. I was fighting in and out of school. So for me, as I look back as an adult now, doesn't matter what age you've seen anything. You get what I'm saying? It all plays part of your memory.
Right.
So it's
Right.
all a trigger, no matter how you look at it. And you know, growing up, you don't think like that because you ain't looking for help. You ain't looking for people to tell you, hey, this is maybe the reason why you're going through this or you're going through that. You're just like, whatever, fuck that. I'm going through this because I want to do this. And not in all actuality, it's not because you want to do this. It's because, bro, your upbringing has something to do with the way that you act as an individual.
Right.
Now, I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here and use that as an excuse either, because a lot of people do use that as an excuse. You get what I'm saying? But it does play a part in who you become.
And how did it play a part in who you became?
Well, and this goes for many people who have been in the life. Either you're brought up in it, or you've watched it, and you became and you glorified it. You get what I'm saying? I grew up in it. My whole family was a part of that. Like I said before, my mother went to prison. My stepfather was selling drugs. My father was a junkie in the street. You know what I mean? So it was growing up in it. I felt like my path more so should have led to me using drugs instead of me being a drug dealer, because that was what was more in my household.
Right.
But that's not the case for me, because in my mind, I was like, bro, I can't go that route because I've seen what it's done to these people.
Right.
So I want to try to change the narrative a little bit and make a name for myself in a way where people will remember me, but won't remember me for using and lowering myself down to that standard. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And so did you ever get into using? Have you ever gotten into using?
Never.
Never. So you've been, drug free your entire life.
A little bit of weed, a little bit of marijuana, no coke, no dope, none of that. No perks, no Klonopin, none of that.
And why is that? Why don't you get high, but everybody can,
Well, for me particularly, I don't like the way that makes me feel. I'm not in control of myself. And if I'm not in control of myself, then I'm not me.
Right.
I'm a conscious person. So everything I do, I want to be there. You understand what I'm saying? And know that I'm doing it with 100% of my will.
So let me ask you something about when you were a child and shit. Who was your biggest influences as far as like idols growing up? Like, were they gangster idols or were they like movie stars? Who were they?
I had a few guys in my projects growing up. You know what I mean? Like, I could name them, you know what I mean? Like influences, but I'm not going to name them. You get what I'm saying? But there was guys out there that, they had the jewels. They was out there really putting in work. And I'd be like, yo, dog, they came through. People respect them. People feared them. So it was like, damn, bro, I want that one day. You get what I'm saying? And I did have idols. I had idols like Michael Jordan. You feel what I'm saying? I had idols like that. But it's not like, that's not real life shit. I can't be a basketball player. First of all, I'm too small. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I liked that, but that wasn't where my mind was at. My mind was making a name for myself and my family. So I chose my idols as the people that I lived around. You feel what I'm saying? Like across the street from me, we had one of the biggest drug dealers in the city. Damn, and I used to see him in the nice cars, the jewelry, and just people always wanting to be around him. You feel what I'm saying? Like he had that aura that just brought people around. So growing up, I was like, damn, bro, I want to be like that. I want to have that type of respect. I want to have that type of influence in my neighborhood. You know what I mean?
So what kind of things did you do to get that respect and that influence?
Man, growing up, you do all type of shit. I was stealing cars. I was selling drugs. I was fighting, whooping people out. You know what I mean? As you know, I got stabbings under my belt, did a few shootings that I'm not proud of. You get what I'm saying? But you have to do things for people to earn your respect. You just don't get respect in this lifestyle.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if that respect comes straight out of fear. I want that respect.
And so what did you get though? Did you feel like growing up you had more fear or more actual respect? And do you know the difference?
Well, now that I look at it, and I still feel like that till today, is that people don't really have respect. They have fear that makes them respect. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so for me, you don't really fucking respect me. You just respect that I will fuck you up and you don't want a problem with me. You get what I'm saying? So it's different. It's a different mind state. It's like, if you really respect me for who I am as an individual today. You understand what I'm saying? Not for what I've done in my past. And that's the type of respect that I want.
And so let me ask you this before I even ask you the question that I'm thinking of in my head right now, which is a question about change, right? But let me get into your prison bit real quick.
All right.
What year was it that you went upstate? And when you got there, exactly where did you go? And what was the atmosphere like on the block?
All right, so I went upstate in 2006. I caught my case in 2005. So in 2006, I went to Concord because that was classification at the time. And when I went into Concord, for any young kid who goes into any prison system, you have a little fear in you.
Absolutely.
You're a little scared. You're not scared. Well, I can only speak for myself. I can't even say that but you got a little fear in you. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't know what to expect in that place. So when I went into the block, I was a little wary. I was looking around. You get what I'm saying? I wanted to see if I knew anybody. Again, I'm a kid. I'm around grown-ass men. as you know from the other podcast, I think it was the first or the second day I was there, man. I seen somebody smack somebody open with the fucking little thing from under the bed. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, listen, ain't nobody playing fair in here. And now, just because I came to jail, the rules don't change. You get what I'm saying? If you're a fearless motherfucker on the street, you got to be a fearless motherfucker in prison unless you're a coward and you was only doing what you was doing in the street because you wanted to be cool.
Or you had a gun.
Or you had a gun.
You know what
like
they say?
You check your guns in at the door. You know so it's like, I'm a fighter. So it's like, bro, I'm coming in here. They ain't really no weapons besides some knives and fucking some little tools. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, I'm scared though. Don't get it twisted. I'm scared. I end up going in there. I met a couple good fellas. My second week there, I got tested. I was running ball on the court. And mind you, I'm still new to this. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know who's clicked up. I don't know none of that shit. But we're on the basketball court, and I'm with one of my good friends, Slick. Know what I mean? And we're playing ball, and one of these Boston kids tried to chump me, bro. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going out like that, bro. So he tries to take the ball out of my hand. And I'm like, homie, you take the ball out of my hand, bro. You try that one more time, I'm going to fuck you up. And sure enough, he did it. And you know what I did? I put boot the ass, bro. I whipped him out real quick. But in my mind, I'm thinking that shit's all right. I don't know that there's about to be some extreme consequences to what I just did. So I see mad people running. And mind you, shit was about to get crazy. But I think the Springfield dude, I'm not going to mention his name on here or none of that. He was sitting down with a whole bunch of Springfield dudes. You get what I'm saying? And as the Boston dudes was coming to jump in, the motherfucker got up and was like, yo, it's a fair fight, bro. If not, it's just going to be something crazy. So that shit happened. I got it cracking with him. And now I come out of the hole. I don't know what's about to happen. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, it's 2 weeks being in prison. I don't know shit about prison yet. I go to the block. I can feel tension though, because I don't care who you is. You from the street. You know what tension is when you see it. So I felt the tension. Nobody comes up. Nobody says nothing. We go to the chow hall. Now, you know the chow hall is where it gets cracking. That's where the most sneaky shit happens. So I end up going to the chow hall, and I sat at the table with the fellas. They came. And they was like, yo, we got to talk. So I'm like, yo, we ain't got nothing to talk about, bro. Your man disrespected. I did what I had to do. And if it happens again, I'm going to do what I have to do. Niggas is like, nah, we need to talk. So I'm like, all right, cool. Me and the fellas at the table get up. We leave the chow hall. We start, y'all know, you know Thunder Alley, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've never been over there. I've never been over there because I never went to Concord. But I can tell you that I've heard several times, many people have told me Thunder Alley, that's where dudes get robbed for their canteen. If you're walking through Thunder Alley from, you know, dudes used to sit in there with razor blades and hit the bags. If it was like a punk, like, and they were coming through Thunder Alley, some bitch ass motherfucker, you're like, oh, let's look at this bitch ass motherfucker, like, slit his canteen bag, and then they're grabbing. It's like a free for all, and then that dude just either gets beat up or whatever, bro. But I heard it goes down in Thunder Alley,
yeah. So we was walking through Thunder Alley, shit was getting, niggas was talking, we was all talking, everybody was talking shit, whatever. I'm standing my ground now because I'm like, bro, I already did what I did. I'm a man, I gotta stand my ground. So they're like, yo, we gonna go to the yard. Meet us at the yard at 1 o'clock.
That's my boy, just sent me $15. I don't know who it is. Ramita Green sent me a $15 cash app, man. Thank you, bro.
Okay, then that's what's up, man. Thank you for doing that. Again, we went to the yard now. We at 1 o'clock in the yard. My man's like, yo, you need one of these. You going to the yard. I'm like, nigga, I don't need none of that, bro. Dude's like, yeah, you need that. You need that. So I'm like, all right, let me get that. We go to the yard. Dude just talking shit again. I'm talking to their main hitter at the time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is what happened. Boom, boom, boom. He understands the situation now. He understands why I did what I did.
Word.
You get what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, I'm going to make sure everything good. Boom, boom, boom. Now, mind you, I'm like, it's like 30 of them, 4 of us. We're about to get rocked, but we going to rock out no matter what it is. That was my first experience in prison. But one thing I will tell you, because I never backed down, motherfuckers gave me respect.
Absolutely, bro.
All the way across the board.
Mm.
And what I will say to this day, them same people are people that I still talk to today on the street. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so going into prison, I was scared.
Mm.
At 18 years old, but I will tell you one thing, prison allowed me to become a man though. And I had to become a man quick.
Let me ask you this, and sorry to cut you off, bro.
Yep.
Yo, you said a prison allowed you to become a man. Did that fear and, you know, the shit that you went through in prison, has that affected you in your character? Has it built you up in some type of way or broke you down in some type of way? Explain.
It definitely didn't break me down because I was installed true respect in prison.
Mm.
When you walk by somebody or you bump somebody, excuse me, thank you.
Word.
You never look in the cells. You always give people their privacy. You always be respectful. Them things is not in this world today. So prison has built me up to a level where I can say that I'm a confident man and being respectful to any individual that comes across me, neither big nor small. It doesn't matter who you are. It installed great principles in me.
That's a fire answer, bro, right? It's a fire answer, kid. Because let me tell you something, bro. Being in prison, right? I've never been through worse, you know, pain, like mentally, right? Like, you know, all those years in solitary confinement and the things that you go through inside of prison, you know, the degradation from the cops. Even if you've ever been on suicide watch, you know what I mean? Like, you don't feel like a man, bro. Sometimes, like, you feel like a human, like an animal, you know. And going through that and experiencing that fucking like raw pain has allowed me to feel a humbleness in a way that I can't explain to other people. I just know what the worst type of pain can be like, and I feel sorry. I feel sorry for those who have to go through it, but I also feel sorry for those who never experience it and don't get that view of the other person who's going through something like that and have that sympathy they know they should have. You know what I mean? That empathy, maybe not sympathy, but empathy. It's a very big difference. You know what I mean? But
it's about understanding.
Word.
And that's what I feel like this world lacks. They lack understanding. They be like, oh, prison's like this or prison's like that or prison. No, reality. Prison is like another world inside of a world. They have order. They have respect. There's people who work every day. There's people who go to school every day. There's people who go to programs every day. There's people who are helping other individuals that are in mental health facilities. People in prison are people.
Yeah.
That have made very bad choices. Yes, some people are animals. Don't get it twisted. Some people are animals. Some people are real life killers. Some people are real life diddlers. All that. But a lot of individuals in prison are real. And that's one thing this fucking world lacks today is realness.
Hell yeah, bro.
Authenticity. Be who you are. Don't be who everybody else wants you to be.
I'd rather be loved for who I am than hate than I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. I mean, it's not a hard thing. You don't have to try to be yourself. You know what I mean? If you're being yourself, you don't have to try. There's no effort involved. I mean, if you want to be your best self, there's effort involved in being your best self. But natural self, being your natural self, it shouldn't take effort. And most people don't understand that they are influenced by outside culture. You know what I mean? You're influenced by the people you're around. So when you're in prison, you're influenced by the gangsters. You're influenced by the sociopaths. You even take on tendencies, sociopathic tendencies, violent tendencies, things that you don't need out here, you need in there. And therefore, as a necessity, you take on these things and you turn into a savage when you need to be a savage. And that's the mark of a true survivor. That's a mark of a true warrior, bro. And I don't knock anybody for getting savage in prison because it's almost like the most savage is the most likely to go home at the end of the day or live. You know what I mean? And so that's the way I see it. You know what I mean?
And I don't even want to say it's savage. It's adapting.
Yeah, exactly. Because you get real
adapting. You know what I mean? We're human. We're made to adapt. So some people are scared. They tuck their tail and run. Some people are like, yo, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to survive, man. And I'm going to live in here the best way I can. You get what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter if it has to be with violence or it has to be nonviolent. There's a path for everybody in prison, right? And I ain't sitting here telling anybody what they should have did or what they could have did. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just letting people from the other side understand that people in prison are not all animals, bro.
Word, bro. And you know what's crazy is I was just, those reels in that video that I put out about that prison in Georgia, right? You got dudes leaving comments like, yeah, this is what we need our Salvadorian prisons up here because look at this shit. It's crazy. Like, these guys are animals. But I promise you, if you gave those convicts in that Georgia prison something to be good for, right? If you gave them proper oversight and proper things to do, programming and shit like that, I guarantee you they wouldn't be acting crazy like that. That's just because they have nothing to do, no supervision, and they're thrown into a world of madness. And madness begets more madness. So they, the crazier the people are, the crazier everybody's gotta be. And so it's like a cycle, bro. That shit's out of control now. But it's like we don't need El Salvadorian prisons to gain control. we need empathy, love, respect, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We're just people too. But yo, let's talk about your Conquer bid, bro. I got off track, bro. I apologize, but I get all worked up with this shit.
I mean, Conquer wasn't a bid. I was only there for a couple months, you know what I mean? Shit was a little hectic. I ain't see nothing crazy off the wall over there. But I went to classification and they was like, yo, you're being classified to Walpole prison. I'm like, Walpole prison for what? What the fuck am I going to Walpole for? What did I do to go to Walpole? You get what I'm saying? And they're like, listen, you got too many points. You was fighting nonstop in the county. This is what happens when you come upstate. There's a point system. You're going over there. So now we're in Walpole prison. Man, I end up going to Walpole prison. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and fabricate shit, bro. On my way there, I was like, fuck, man, but why? But why me? Why I gotta go there? You hear the stories about Walpole prison, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why me? What the fuck? Why me? I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to Walpole prison.
Right.
But I'm in the van with my mans. You feel what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, fuck it. We'll just make a pact right now, dog. We go in there. We're together. It is what it is. So I'm in my mind. I'm like, yeah, that sound good, bro. That sound ill, but this is real shit we about to walk into. So I get up out the van. The fucking the drivers are like, yo, welcome to Walpole where the gladiators are.
Word.
I'm like, all right, whatever. Shut the fuck up. I'm good. I don't even want to hear that. They take us inside. It's dark as shit, bro. It's dark as shit. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? Where the lights at, bro? Where the lights? So they take me down into the fucking basement, bro, where they got the holding cells at. So me and my man's in there. I'm like, bro, this shit is something out of a movie, bro. This shit is scary as fuck.
Old school.
So I'll never forget his name. He was bro. His name was Bertinelli. Straight little bastard. He comes down, right? And just because I didn't like the way he said it, I had to say something back, bro. He was like, y'all ain't gonna make it in here. This is gladiators. There's gladiators in here. Wow. So me, I'm a prideful motherfucker. I was like, well, guess what? You just met a fucking gladiator then.
Word. Right.
So he was like, yeah, everybody says that when he came here. I said, all right, we'll bet. I end up going to the block, orientation block. Everybody's in there. I know mad people now. So I'm like, all right, I'm cool. I know everybody in here, whatever. Boom. My man comes to the door, slips something under the door. It's a banger. He's like, yo, you're going to need this. Now, mind you, in Walpole, you got to sign a waiver to come out your cell. You get what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers don't sign that waiver.
Yup, you'll see him locked in their cell.
Yeah, so motherfucker comes up to my door. He's like, yo, you going to sign this waiver? I'm like, absolutely. I signed the waiver. Pops my door. Boom, I come out. I'm chilling with people. I'm getting to know everybody now. I'm starting to see who's who. They send me to the medium side of Walpole. Now that's where the Latin Kings are, the Bloods are, the Nietas, all them dudes. You get what I'm saying? So I go down there. I walk into the block. Now, them blocks are really like dungeons. There's no light. There's little light. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm walking in. I'm trying to see who's who. And at the time, this is when the GDs and the Kings were going at it.
Mm.
And I'm from Bristol County where all the GDs is at.
Yup.
And everybody knows where I'm from. They know where I'm coming from, whatever, boom.
Mm-hmm. And that's
I
a
walk
6
up to my-
Everybody knows it.
Yeah, so I walk into the block. I end up going to my cell. They put me right at the fucking first cell on the second tier, cell 25. I'll never forget it. Bro, I didn't even get to get in my cell and open up my bag to see what I had in my bag. Niggas was already at my door.
Mm.
They was already at my door. So they was like, yo, you a folk? I'm like, nah, I'm not no folk. They was like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from New Bedford. He was like, you ain't no folk? I said, I told you, bro, I ain't no folk. Now, mind you, these are all fives running around here.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, yo, you ain't no folk? I said, bro, I ain't no folk. He said, yo, if we find out you're a folk, we gonna do what we're gonna do. I said, then you're gonna have to do what you gotta do. I done told you already I ain't no folk. I see 4 black dudes walk up to my cell. Mind you, that same motherfucker I beat up and conquered, these are all his fucking people that showed up at my door to rock with me. You heard? So now it's like, bro, they're like, yo, this is your people. I don't know none of these motherfuckers. None of them. They was like, yeah, that's my mans. That's my mans. So I'm like, yo, why the fuck do you do that at my door? Because my man that I came in with had set word to them that I was coming down there. You feel what I'm saying? So they knew I was already arriving. But old boy, when he came in the cell, he's like, yo, I liked how you handled that, bro. He was like, you wasn't backing down. You let them motherfuckers know who you were. And if they had something to do, they was going to do it.
Mm.
I seen that's how that happened. You feel what I'm saying? So that was my introduction into Walpole. Then they're like, yo, you got your paperwork? I'm like, yeah, I got my paperwork. They was like, yo, I just want to see that real quick. Check you out. So I'm like, all right, bro. I bring out the pack. I give them the pack. They're like, all right, yo, you good money. You official money. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool. We go around. There's no tension in the block at this time because there's no other sides. It's just fives in this building. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Until I seen one kid walk in the block. And I was like, damn, what's going to happen to him? Bro, I ain't never seen an ass whooping like this in my life. And I say that to this day, bro. I ain't never seen an ass whooping like that in my life. But that was a reality check for me.
Mm.
That was a reality check for me because sometimes when we're in prison, we don't think it can get as crazy as it can get, bro.
No, definitely.
You get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And I seen this dude jump off the second tier with all type of holes in his body, bleeding everywhere, bro.
Mm.
Everywhere, right in front of me. You
He was
get what
trying
I'm
to get
saying?
away? Was he trying to get away?
He got away. He got away. He got away. But the reason why I bring this up to you is because everybody want to talk about prison stories. And most people, they're in prison stories. So they're in the beef. They're in the shit. I really didn't have no beef. So I wasn't really in all type of crazy shit. I had my fair one-on-ones. You get what I'm saying? No real jumpings, no shit like that. Mm. But when you witness shit like this, it puts this type of life into a perspective. Okay. And it's like, bro, everything can be calm for a year straight. It takes one motherfucker to come in there and disrupt the whole process. And I'm going to go back to what you said about earlier about like the prison riots and the shit like that, right? Yep. Riots just don't happen. People just don't stop riots.
Word.
Something has to happen continuously, and people are getting fed up with not being heard. So they act out. Don't make it seem like one day this dude just went and did this. That's not what happened. That's not what happens. Right. So all the riots anybody has ever seen, this is a long process that took place before it happened.
Right. Remember P1?
Yes.
P1. Good example.
Exactly.
Yep. Every time they come back for showers from the gym and they keep on.
Bouvet was the worst guy I've ever met in my life, bro.
Yep. He got
the worst man I've ever met in my life, bro. Every day he made it a point to fuck with people. Mind you, people in state prison, some of them are never going home. This is their home. Don't sell us laundry detergent if you don't want us washing our clothes.
Word.
Don't do these things. Don't give us these things and don't allow things to happen and then try to take it away. Because there's nothing in prison. There's nothing. It's not fun. It's not all good and dandy. Yes, we're there with a whole bunch of our boys, and some days are good, better than others. But every individual in there is going through something.
What was your toughest day in prison?
When my mother died.
And what happened? What was that like for you?
So I was chilling. I was actually playing poker, man. I was playing poker. And I've been trying to get a hold of my mother for days. And I'm like, bro, I can't get a hold of my mother. Then she just sent me a shitload of money the week before that. And my mother don't got money like that. So I'm like, damn, bro, what's up with my mom's? And I'm calling my family members. Nobody's answering nothing. And then one day I hear it over the intercom, the league to the bubble. And I go to the bubble and they're like, yo, they got to see you in the captain's office. And I'm like, man, what do they want me in the captain's office? They said, hey, it's personal. They want you to go down there. So I walked into the captain's office and I already knew something was wrong by the looks on their face. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But they're like, hey, yo, you got to call your mother. I'm like, why? They was like, because she's about to pass away. She's on her last days. So I broke down crying because, bro, this is mom's, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, I'll put that back.
So, yeah, I feel you, brother. I definitely feel you. I'll get back to that. Because I was 18 when this happened. So I definitely feel your pain. But he's like, yo, you get to talk to your mother. So I'm on the phone with my mother, but my mother's not talking because she's literally on like her last breaths, bro. So I'm just like, Mom, I'm sorry that I failed you. You know, I'm sorry that I can't be there. I can't give you a hug. I can't give you a kiss. Now my brothers is in the background and I can hear them. And then like, she's moving. So my words were giving her strength to be able to move just a little bit. So me doing my bid, I took that with me. You get what I'm saying? Because I gave my mother strength just to be able to move her hands to let them know, to tell me that what I'm saying to her, she's hearing me.
Man, that's some
but it was the worst thing I ever been through because I knew from that day on, I wouldn't have nobody there for me.
Right. You feel alone.
I was literally alone. Like, even though I got all these siblings, all these aunts, all these cousins, none of them was there for me.
How did that impact you, just, you know, not having anybody there? Did it change the way you acted on your bid?
Yeah.
Like, in what way?
It impacted me because I started not to give a fuck about anything because I felt nobody gave a fuck about me. So I didn't care about your feelings just as much as you didn't care about my feelings. Word. And that's what made me want to act out more. See, my first bid, I was chaotic. My second bid, I wasn't. And it was like night and day because my first bid, I had nothing to lose. My second bid, I had everything to lose. And everything to me was my daughter.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? She was my purpose. And my first, I didn't have nobody.
On your first bid, what's the difference of the way you acted? Like, let's talk about your first bid real quick. You go in on your first bid as far as, like, you know, violence and fighting. Is that what you mean? Like, you were quicker to throw hands, quicker to get into the shit?
Absolutely. I would stop people. I would stop fights with people just to stop fights with people.
Right.
Just because I was stressed out and bored and felt like, I think this dude's a bitch. And he's talking all this shit, and I'm just gonna fuck him up. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just how my life did it. Like, one day I was at a poker table, bro. It was me and my man E from Worcester, bro. He was betting mad books. I didn't have money like that, so I was trying to win a little bit of money that I had. You get what I'm saying? And we're saying, I'll never forget this, bro. I ended up getting a job in the kitchen block. So we're in the kitchen block, and my man got like 10 books on the table, and he's like, yo, don't hit, just let the dealer crap out. You know, we're playing with 52 cards. There's not that many cards. I could see that all the big cards is out. You feel what I'm saying? Whatever. He's going to bust. So there was this kid on the side of me like, yo, ain't nobody telling me how to play my shit. I'm like, all right, bro, ain't nobody going to tell you how to play your shit. But if you take a hit, you're going to get hit. So he was like, ain't nobody telling me anything. So mind you, I'm like this stupid motherfucker don't even see me shifting. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm waiting for him to take this hit.
Right.
Because he about to take a hit. So my man E's like, yo, I'm good. I'm like, I'm good. This nigga said, hit me. I blasted him. Boom! Right off his head. Blood everywhere. blood everywhere. I stopped mopping him up. I said, I told you, you take a hit, I'm going to hit you, bro. So he's like, why you hit me like that? He's bloody everywhere. He's running up and down the tier now. I'm trying to catch him. You know, once you're in, you're in. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how it is. That's how that day transpired. But I used to just look for problems. If you was my mans, I just wanted to fight with you because you didn't like my mans. You feel what I'm saying? And that just happened. That's how my bid trickled. I usually fought for people. You get what I'm saying? I really didn't fight for myself. I just fought for other people.
I mean, we all say that, but I feel like it all is for ourselves because at the end of the day,
it's for the feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're getting the respect. We're getting the shine. You know what I mean? And we all love that shit, you know? You come out of the hole every time you get into a good beef and you take a dub, you're like, you know, you come out of the hole feeling like Rocky, bro. Get at the top of the stairs, get like dun, dun, dun,
everybody
dun, dun.
greeting you like, yo, what up, dog? You back? Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
But you know, I've been doing this since juvenile, though. You see me whoop ass in juvie, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing new, dog.
I was just talking, and this is a good friend of mine. I don't know how you guys lined up after this, but remember Lorenzo Rounds?
Yeah.
Yo, he's
a good dude.
Yeah, first person I ever saw you fight.
Yeah.
you know, but he's a dog, bro, in real life. You know, he was with it too. Just, you know, he ended up taking the L on that one. But like, yeah, I was just talking to him earlier. It's funny that you say that, bro, because I do remember you, bro.
He's a good motherfucker because he ended up coming through Sousa. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep,
and I seen him, and I automatically thought we was gonna get it shaken, but that's not how it turned out. We had a great conversation. We left it as kids, bro. You know what I mean? He's a great man. He's a dog, 100%. I ain't taking nothing from him. You feel what I'm saying? Like he bang hard. He go for a set. You feel what I'm saying? We did what we did, and it's just one of them things in life, bro. You fight with some of your best friends. You get what I'm saying?
All the time.
It's just what it is, because when you meet a real motherfucker, bro, they ain't going for anything.
Yeah,
and if you're a real motherfucker, you ain't going with nothing. You know what I mean? So that's how that went. But I met him a few times after that. We ended up chopping it up. We was cool, bro. Anytime I've ever seen him, he's a great dude, bro.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is I used to get in fights with my friends a lot when I was younger. But nowadays, like, I cherish those ones that are still around. And my mother was right when I was a kid. She said, "You're at the end of your life, you're gonna be able to count on one hand your true friends, bro." And I didn't know. At first, I was like, "Yeah, whatever," but it's true. It's true.
100%, man.
So
my best friend in the world right now is my little brother, man.
Facts.
It's my little brother. He did 16 years in prison. He's home now. He's doing great. He's been out for 5 years. It's my best friend in the world, bro. I can call him and tell him anything, get constructive criticism from him, and not feel any type of way, bro.
And did he hold you down on your bid?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. He held me down in my bid, bro. He always spit that right shit in my ear. That's how I got through my second bid, because in 2020 is when he came home, bro. You know what I mean? But I have he ended up going to a minimum and ended up being released from the minimum. Okay. But the reason why I bring this up is for everybody that's locked up who feel like they don't have hope. Anybody who's waiting for somebody to come home that got a life bid that feels like it's over for that individual. It's never over for that individual. So you always keep that hope. You always ride for that person that you love, and you never give up and turn your fucking back, because loyalty is always being there for somebody no matter what the situation is. And that's how I live my life. Either right or wrong, you rock with me. You could tell me that I'm wrong. You can tell me that I'm right. But don't ever turn your fucking back on me, because then you're not a friend to me.
Word.
You know what I mean? And that's how I live my life today.
Have you ever had somebody do that to you where you felt betrayed, especially behind the wall?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
What happened?
I never wanted to touch on this conversation. I never wanted to say anything. I never wanted to bring this up. And I still ain't gonna badmouth or shame the person. You know what I mean? Like, I had a kid with somebody. You get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I wasn't the greatest man. And I wasn't. So I want everybody to hear this. I wasn't the greatest man.
Word.
But when I ask you a question, are you going to be there for me? Because if not, then leave. And you tell me yes, I expect better out of you. But neither here nor there. She's a great mom. I have a beautiful daughter from her. But she did that.
That's my guy, Bobby, from the Bounce Back podcast, bro. Salute to you, bro.
Okay, then what up, guy? What's up, my guy, man? I'll be seeing you soon. I'll be up there in the video. But I don't want to down talk anybody or in any way. If you turned your back on me, that was better for me.
Yeah, because then you don't have to deal with it no more. It's like, fuck it, I just want what do me.
Absolutely. So I don't ever want to shame or badmouth nobody. You get what I'm saying? But that person, I never expected that. I'm a hood dude, so I know what comes with the street, bro. It's when you're out of sight, you're out of mind. You know what I mean? Everybody going about their business. Everybody doing this. My mother always told me growing up, bro, your true friends are the friends you live with. Your friends on the street, they're only friends temporarily until you get locked up and chosen few will write or send you a couple dollars.
Word.
I expected that. So, and then another thing is my whole family turned their back on me.
Word. That sucks.
So a lot of them I don't forgive, and I'll never forgive them. You get what I'm saying?
It's a bad feeling sitting there in that prison cell, bro, knowing like everybody's out there not even giving a fuck what you're going through and shit, especially if you are going through some shit, you know? Yeah, it's just fucking buggy, kid, doing a bid by yourself, bro. You always need somebody to call, somebody to drop you a couple of dollars when you need it. You'll be starving in there. Salute to all the real ones taking care of their family in the joint, bro. For
Absolutely, 100%. And shit got easier, so y'all can't say nothing. Free taxes, free phone. Like, you ain't spending no money. Like, bro, it ain't nothing to say hi, I love you. You feel what I'm saying? And if you ain't doing that, you a sucker, bro. I'm letting you know that. You a sucker. Wholeheartedly, man. You know, I'm out here doing the right thing. And I'm out here showing love to everybody. Anybody that crosses my path, I show love to. I answer the phone no matter what, bro. If you ain't showing your loved ones any type of love, you're a fucking sucker, bro. Straight up. Don't say hi to me. Don't say nothing to me. You're a sucker, bro. Because, bro, he was good for you when he was on the street, but he ain't good for you no more. I don't respect that at all, man.
Word.
You know what I mean? Bro. And I got it right here, bro. Check it out. Loyalty over love, man. Fuck love. Show me some loyalty, bro. That's my man's brand, man. Go big him up. His name's Jay, bro. That shit really got me tight right now. I'm red.
Yo, thinking about it gets you mad, right?
Yeah, because, bro, I've been through it all, man.
Dude, sitting in there, bro, I've never been betrayed like I've been betrayed by the people on the streets when I was in prison, fucking my girl, just doing some shit like that. But when I got out, I seen everybody, bro. And I got into a lot of fights. That was my first bid, though. And when I got out on my second one, I said, I'm doing things differently now, bro. I ain't even gonna give people a chance to do me dirty like that. This is what it is, bro. I know the ones that are loyal to me because they wrote me. And then the other ones, bro, I'll meet new people. You know what I mean? I don't need them.
100%.
You know what I mean? You put motherfuckers on in the street, bro. You can be the, you know, do them as lovely as they want. And then as soon as you're gone, it's like they got someone else to fuck you, dude. Bro, you know what I mean? Like, that shit's whack. But yo, so let me ask you about being up in Sousa on your second bid, because I remember I had asked you about you going back and then you know, having your daughter on that one. So what was it like on your second bid with your daughter and shit? What were you thinking right when you got there?
See, I didn't go to Sousa on my second bid. I went to Walpole because that was classification. Then I ended up getting transferred for OCCC, right? But when I went to Walpole, it didn't matter where they sent me. My mind frame was my mind frame. You get what I'm saying? I already knew what I had to do, right? Wow. So I'll remember this. The day that I got sentenced was probably the most traumatic day of my life due to the fact that I just put this little girl into this world and I was getting taken from her from a stupid act that I created and that I've done. So I was in the tank, and you know, when you come from the county, they give you the ditty bags and shit like that. You can take pictures, you have phones and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I had all her pictures in my ditty bag, but they told me that they couldn't, I couldn't take them. So I was like, oh, I can't take them? They was like, nah. I'm like, all right, shoot the fuck up then. Because I'm getting my shit, bro. Shoot the fuck up.
Word.
So they're like, yo, we're not doing that with you. We won't boop. You're coming with us. I said, then come in here. I dare you to come in here. You come in here and try to put me in handcuffs, and then I'll go. But until then, I'm letting you know I'm shooting up with you. So they're like, all right, say no more. So I'm starting to take off all my shit. You know what it is. I don't want you grabbing no clothing. They come in, they say, yo, listen, we got a better thing for you. We'll take you there. We'll bring your shit there. I'm like, bro, you ain't bringing nothing there. You ain't bringing nothing there. You're just trying to get me out of this cell.
So, yo, worst liars ever.
Make a long story short, a dude came that I know from the street. He was like, yo, Rob, I'll personally drive your shit up there if you get in this van right now. I looked at him. I said, listen, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, but you're on their side, not mine. I'm not believing you. He said, yo, I grew up with you my whole fucking life. I ain't never lied to you. He said, I ever lied to you? I said, nah, you ain't never lied to me. But remember, you're on their side now. So I don't believe anything you're saying to me.
Word.
He said, bro, I put it on my mother. Now, his mother had passed away. He goes, I'll bring your shit personally. I said, I got your word as a man. He said, you got my word as a man. Bro, that man the next day brought all my shit to that jail.
Damn, good shit.
I got it. But now, mind you, I'm in this prison. So I'm like, bro, I got to shape up the right way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I got to really take the initiative to try to change my life. But I'm still in the mind frame of like, bro, I just lost everything. Every fucking thing that I've ever worked hard for in my life. I ain't never had a job in my life. I had a job at this time. I had all these things going for myself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just lost everything. Lost my wife, lost my job, lost my kid, lost my stepkids, lost the business that me and my man was putting together for ourselves. You know what I mean? All this shit, bro. So I'm like, damn, bro, fuck that. So I'm going about my time.
Okay, go ahead, finish. I'll ask you after.
So I'm going about my time and I'm deciding, do I want to go left or do I want to go right? And then I got that visit that I talked about the last time on part 1 when we was on here, where my daughter asked me the question, are you going to change and shit like that? And from that day forward, bro, I chose to change my life. And it was the best thing I ever did in my life because I don't look over my shoulder for shit no more, bro.
Let me ask you this, right? So, you went out to the visit to see your daughter and she asked you about your life and changing your life. All right, that happened. Where did that happen in your bid? Like, how far into your bid did that happen? And what was your bid like up until that point?
That happened the second half of my bid. I mean, my bid was a little crazy. If dudes would tell you, man, like when I first went into the county and shit like that, I was tuning motherfuckers up, bro. I was tuning dudes up and getting into all type of low shit. And for me, it's hard for me to brag about anything because thank you very much, my dude. I don't like to brag about fighting, bro. Like it's not something that I do because I'm not thrilled by that no more. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you're a dog, you're a dog. You know what I mean? Like I embrace that. You get what I'm saying? Like I embrace realness. The fighting shit is really whack to me now. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm grown now. I'm a grown ass man, so I don't like to backpedal into that. But I was getting it in a little bit, man, and it created chaos to me. You feel what I'm saying? Chaos that I didn't want no more. So I had to learn from that. You get what I'm saying? And I had to tell myself, like, yo, bro, everything in here doesn't matter. Everything that I want is out there.
Where were you in your sentence when you were thinking that, though? Everything doesn't matter. Were you standing in your cell one day like, damn, man, just realizing, like, none of this shit matters?
Well, I was actually reading a book. If y'all don't know, it's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff because it's all small stuff. Right.
Good book.
And
I read it.
Yeah, it's a great book. And I'm like, damn, everything this shit's saying is like, it's true because you can argue with somebody right now. 10 minutes later, you're not even thinking about the argument no more. And that's what we fight about in prison. Literally, you argue with me, you say something to me, I'm popping off, bro. We're going wild. You know what I mean? So I started putting that shit into perspective. You get what I'm saying? In like my everyday life. And I'm like, bro, if I can control what comes out of my mouth, it's basically like, yo, I'm controlling what comes out of your mouth because in prison, if you don't talk to me, I'm not talking to you. So I would only speak to those that I know and I relate to. I didn't go and try to chill with the 24-year-olds. What the fuck I got in common with you, bro? You can barely wipe your ass, bro. I don't got nothing in common with you. You're still trying to prove your name. You're still trying to be somebody. I'm not trying to do that. So I would always look for the older heads that I knew. I know you know this. Remember in your first bid?
Yep.
You see all the older dudes in their cell and you be like, why the fuck this dude always in his cell? Why doesn't he come out? But you realize
lames. I'm like, look at these old fucking lames, bro. I'm like, they never do shit, bro. They ain't getting it in anymore. I'm like, these dudes are washed up. But really, I'm like, you know, they went through hell their whole bids, you know what I mean, as a young kid, just like we did. And they're finally like at a point where they're trying to fall back in their sentence, and they got me some little shit like, you're a bitch, you all washed up. He's like, dude, I can't get any peace in this place.
Exactly, but it's like, yo, at a certain age, you got to grow up. You know what I mean? You got to become a man. You got to be a man. So now, as I'm getting older, I'm playing to sell more. I'm only coming out every now and then. You see, to check on a couple fellas or whatever. But dudes are coming to check me out and talk to me. But I was in the books. You get what I'm saying? I was in the books. I was in and out of programs. I was doing my little schooling thing. So that's how I was able to change my mind frame, because I'm like, bro, if I'm not around everybody, I'm not listening to the gossip, I'm not in the poker games, I'm not playing basketball no more, I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm just trying to rehabilitate myself so I can be a better individual when I go out to society. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be perfect, picture perfect, because I don't believe any individual is picture perfect. But I can be a better version of me. And anytime I've ever talked to people, they said I was intelligent, but I never seen it. You get what I'm saying? Because I was living a different life.
Yeah, we were all built in. Like, we go to prison, we get degraded by the cops, basically told we're nothing and losers all the time, and we start to believe that shit, bro. You know what I mean? You start to believe you're less than nothing. But yo, let me ask you questions about so you went to Old Colony on your second bid, and you were barbering down there, right? Have you ever run into, even in Old Colony or Sousa Baranowski, wherever you've been, have you run into any notable figures, people that have been in the newspapers or people would know about?
Oh yeah, man. I was in there with dudes, crazy dudes, man. I was in there with this you ever met the bomber?
Yeah,
I don't remember his name. He bombed he was stalking a girl. She told him no. And then he went to her house. He put a package on her porch, bro. She took it in her house, bro. She opened it up and he blew her up because she didn't want to be with him.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying? I met some notorious dudes like that. I mean, like, not notorious. He ain't notorious because he was a straight punk, bro. But you know, dudes with crazy crimes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Any crazy dudes.
I mean, that white dude. He was a serial killer. He was like a truck.
Jeff.
Yeah. Yo, I wouldn't talk to that dude, bro. I couldn't even look at him. I'm like, look at this man. No, I thought he was mad.
Yo, he's a maggot. He's a maggot, bro. He's a straight queer too. No problem with queers, now. Don't take this out of context. Don't try to shoot me down. But he was a savage. I mean, a straight savage, bro. There's dudes that I've been around, like, I don't ever want to call anybody a legend. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. There's some real serious guys. You get what I'm saying? Like, that are very big figures. You get what I'm saying? But I don't ever want to call nobody a legend. You get what I'm saying?
I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, because it's like almost like being on someone's nuts, like, type of shit.
Yeah, like, I don't ever want to call nobody a legend. But there's some serious dudes. There's some real serious dudes that we are around. You feel what I'm saying? So
I have to call, like, when I made the video. So like, I made the videos about the prison legends and shit. It's like putting it in terms people understand. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're infamous. They are a legend inside of prison. I could go as far as calling myself
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I could say you're a legend, my nigga. You get what I'm saying? I could say you're a legend. I don't watch you come up, you feel what I'm saying, and really put in pain, bro. You get what I'm saying? I've really seen you put in pain. I've really seen you smash dude's head into the ground, you feel what I'm saying? Walk out with a smile on your face and like, who next? You get what I'm saying? But I think for us, bro, that savage mentality comes with, like, bro, listen, you're not gonna take me for a joke. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do what I have to do no matter what. Then there's motherfuckers who just do it to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I've been around some stabbers, bro. I've been around some dudes that same shit, bro, and really put in that pain. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all remember my little guy Bo, though. You know little Bo, Asian Bo?
Oh, Asian Bo?
I've been about Black Bo too, but I'm talking about Asian Bo. Like, he's considered a legend, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's
considered a legend in the Asian community. He's still locked up to this day. He's a dog, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
where was he?
He's been everywhere. He was in Walpole prison, Sousa Baranowski. I don't know if you remember in L2, the two dudes, they was from Boston. They ended up shanking one of the Asian dudes.
Yeah, back when that whole Asian in Boston war popped off.
Yeah, that shit
Yup.
popped off. That's little Bo that got stabbed, bro. You feel what I'm saying? But
Bro, that
dude
shit
really,
was wild.
yeah.
Remember that?
And he's like that guy. You get what I'm saying? That's why the whole shit trickled down the way that it trickled down. I've been around him my whole bit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I've been around Rock. I've been around all these dudes, Hollywood. I've been around, you know what I mean? P-Dub, all these guys, you feel what I'm saying, that are infamous from their areas that really get it shaken. They got names for themselves. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, bro, I was with you. I was there with you. I was in that circle. I'm not calling you no legend, my dude. You're an infamous dude. You're a beast. You get what I'm saying? But that's as far as we're going. Like, yo, I was in blocks with dudes like, yo, my man Poolside Sticks, he really the truth. He really do what he talking about. Like, dudes can't say nothing about him, but I'm not gonna call him a legend. He's a dog. He's a real goon. He's a real nigga. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Yo, I was with him upstate, me and him, and it's funny because I'll get him on the live and we'll talk about that shit. But me and him almost got into it.
Yeah.
He pulled out on me. I tried to, grab him and shit. We was going in the cell, like all that shit. It was getting a little crazy. That was my guy though. We ended up getting real close, and because of what he did, I ended up making a lot of bread and shit. We were just, doing business. But yeah, he's a good dude, bro. And I'm glad that he got up here on my platform first before anywhere else.
Yo, he's a good brother, bro. He was there when I was changing my life, bro. I respect him wholeheartedly. Listen, he didn't even know he taught me things that he taught me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, bro, I don't ever like big up anybody in that way. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't ever feel like anybody's larger than me. I feel like I'm that dude in my own sense. You get what I'm saying? But I give everybody their respect when that respect is due, bro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because in my city, dudes is like, yo, you're a legend. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you can go to my hood. I got dudes, I can show you text messages like, yo, you a hood legend, boom, boom. But I don't want to be known for that, bro. I want to change these little motherfuckers out here that are running around thinking this shit's sweet, bro. Because when you're locked in that box, ain't nobody there with you. Fuck your girl, fuck your family, fuck your friends, everybody. When you're in that cell at night and that light goes off, bro, and you're alone in your thoughts, listening to your music, and you got tears rolling down your cheek, because everybody turned their back on you because you was willing to die for a set that didn't give a fuck about you. That's what I'm willing to change. I'm trying to be a better man for those that are around me and show them the way.
Yo, can we
that's
talk
what I'm
about,
idolizing.
Let me ask you about being in the joint with dudes that are from your hood that are in gangs and shit, and like how you guys like fuck with each other and shit, like, because you're obviously not in the gang, but they are, but you guys have that homeboy tie. How does that go down? Like, when they get into it, are you jumping in that shit? Like, what's going on? How does that happen?
It depends who you are. Because just because I know you from my city doesn't mean I'm jumping for you, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I don't rock like that. First of all, if I wanted to rock like that, I'd have joined your gang.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But if you're somebody that I consider a friend, I don't care what you do. I don't care how you do it, good, bad, whatever. I'm rocking with you.
See, I know Rob is a solid, loyal bro that if he fuck with you, will give you a shirt off his back. If you guys got any questions, real quick, if you guys got any questions for Rob or for myself, please feel free to ask. Also, at 7:45 in about 10 minutes, we're going to have Kicker calling in from the Max with updates about what's going on up in the Max. That's a little surprise that I had for you. I wasn't even going to say nothing, but he's going to be calling in from the Max in a couple minutes. Me and my bro Rob are going to ask him some questions and, talk to him and shit.
Hey, yo, before we just go on, that W number meant something to me. You get what I'm saying? And that's why when my boy called me up to do a podcast on the W number, I didn't say no, because that number meant a lot to me. I did 18 years in prison. That was my home. A lot of people say don't call prison your home, but anywhere your address and you reside is your home. And that was my home. And it was a little box that I never broken, that I only build myself up in. So for those that are watching that don't know nothing about prison, fuck what you see on TV. Listen to every individual that came on this W number that has a story to tell you. This is real life shit. This ain't no fake shit. Because there's dudes that got out of prison today that are in fucking college, running colleges, that are doing shit for themselves. You get what I'm saying? So don't ever think life doesn't go on in prison. to better yourself. And everybody in there ain't savages. That's why I fucking rock with my man Maddie, man, because he came home, he put this podcast number, and he showed you that W.
Word. And it's a fact, and it's true, and it's dangerous for everybody to be talking about how everybody in prison is just some type of savage warrior. They go in there and they're just fucking battle crazed, bloodlust. And you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that, bro. We're human beings, but we get put in an environment where we're forced to act in a certain type of way. It doesn't define our character in the way that you think. It defines our character in the way that, like this, right? Only a strong, courageous, loyal, and honorable man will make it through prison. And if you have like fucked up tendencies to like pull stunts on your friends or be a fucked up individual towards them or whatever, then that's when you get crushed, and like that's when shit happens. You know what I mean? That's when shit goes bad, bro. And so if you go in there and you're just yourself, you don't have to be a tough motherfucker. You don't have to be nothing but yourself. And dudes will respect that a lot more than if you go in there acting tough. Then dudes are gonna see right through that, bro. Shit's fake as hell. You see through it, bro. It's easy. But
you know what I wanted to tell you? I wanted to talk about COVID real quick because everybody had it bad in life. You get what I'm saying during COVID.
Yep.
But I want to let y'all know, ain't nobody have it as bad as prisoners in COVID.
Word, bro.
I've watched dudes fall out, get no medical attention. I watched dudes die, get no medical attention. But the worst part of being in prison during COVID was the limited time that we got out of our cells and the way they treated us when they wanted to quarantine us. If you didn't want to come out your cell and they was trying to quarantine you, they was literally running in cells, pummeling dudes that had COVID, bro. You know what I mean? So I want everybody to know, bro, like, if you was locked up during COVID and people were locked up during COVID, John B, what's good, baby? And you was locked up during that.
Uh-oh. I don't know if that's me or you. Yo, so I don't know what's going on right now with Rob's thing, but I think I'm still here. Okay, yeah, there you are. My fault. You froze up a little bit real quick. So you said I don't know what's going on, but then you paused out.
Yeah, my shit froze up on me. But I just want everybody to know, whoever did time during COVID, man, like, yo, I salute you. I really praise you, man, because prison was tough at that time, bro.
What was the differences? Like, what happened during COVID? Like, what was your time like?
Bro, I was locked down 23:45, man. I was only out 15 minutes a day.
For how long?
That ain't enough. We was locked down for 6 months like that, bro. And that's not knowing what's going on in your family. That's not knowing who's out there dying. Friends, family members, food coming to your door, cold as shit. Cops, you don't know if they're spitting in your food. You feel what I'm saying? They're treating you like shit, not giving you rec. Like, bro, it was just hard, man. Mentally, it was hard. But guess what? We got through it and we made it out. And those that made it out, bro, if you say that you ain't go through a traumatizing event, I mean, kudos to you.
Yo, so what was it like on lockdown in there? Like, what was a day like for you?
I mean, we're locked in a cell, so you know we got that little bubble. We're watching the stupid tube all day. All we're doing is watching people dying. You feel what I'm saying? 6 feet away. I don't know if you remember this, but remember when you was on your bunk and it was like, yo, if you're laying this way, the other person got to lay the opposite way because yous are going to be breathing each other. It's like, motherfucker, 6 feet. We 2 feet away from each other, bro.
Right. Yeah, you live in a cell that's not even 6 feet wide. How the fuck? Yeah, that shit was retarded.
So it was like, it was just crazy, the things that they would try to have us do, the way they would have us mask up, the way they would have us go to the shower. Like, bro, you're doing things to get people sick. If I'm in the second tier and you put people on the bottom tier that got COVID, where the fuck do you think their air is going? Into my vent, into my cell, getting me sick, possibly getting me killed. And I want to shout this motherfucker's name out there. Captain Souza at OCC was the worst captain I've ever seen in my life because he tried to kill inmates, bro. Period. I'm putting you out there. I'm putting you on blast. You don't like it, man. Captain Souza. Anybody know his first name, man? Write it in the motherfucking blog, bro, so we can put his bitch ass out there. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know him, but if I did, I would. Fuck it.
Yeah, yo, no bullshit, bro. He tried to kill us all, bro. He tried to do us dirty, man.
How did you do that? What are you talking about?
Bro, because in OCC, your ventilation system goes right up into the second in the cell above you. So anything you do, if you fart, I can smell it. You get what I'm saying? And he would put all the people that were sick, dying of COVID on the first tier, rises onto the second into the second tier, to the second cells. So by the next night, everybody on the second tier would have COVID.
Really?
Continuously go through that until inmates had to come together and say that if you do this again, we're starting a riot. And then they came in the block and was like, yo, what's happening? Bro, you're trying to kill each and every individual that's living in this motherfucking building because this is what you're doing. You're telling us to stay 6 feet away from each other, but this dude got this shit in my cell. How am I going to escape it? And it took a while for that to come together. You get what I'm saying? But it did because the guys stuck together, you know what I mean? And we made a change. We made a change during that time. Right. But it was hard, bro. It was hard. Not being able to talk to my daughter, not being able to see her, none of that. It was hard, bro.
How do they feed you and shit? They feed you through the food slot or they pop you at your door?
Yeah, they would come to the door, put your food in your food slot, you know what I mean? But, bro, by the time that shit got there, it was frozen, bro. You know what I mean? The warmers didn't work. It was crazy. So at one point, I just stopped taking food, bro, and I would just eat my commissary. Then the next thing you know, I got high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You know what I mean? It's all fucked up, but you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And I, like I said, man, I big up anybody who went through COVID in prison, man, because it was hard, bro.
Right. Yo, so you know it's funny. Remember on the lockdown days, waking up in the morning and looking out the trap and seeing everybody else looking out the trap, and you're waiting for your breakfast. And everybody's just looking out the trap and they're coming around. You can hear the keys jingling. Like, that's something that goes through my mind when I think about the lock-ins and shit. It's just looking out that trap, yelling out in the morning, like, yo, it's good, bro. Just trying to, like, you know,
that's all you had.
Neighbors and shit. That shit was crazy, man. Just being locked down all the time in that max was nuts, bro. Canceling the movements every fucking other day. Like, you got gym movement. You're looking forward to going to the gym, standing in front of the desk, like, cancel. It's like, for what? Oh, understaffed. It's like there's 4,000 of you motherfuckers here, dude.
How the fuck you understaffed, bro?
Right?
Yeah,
it's
man.
wild, bro. They make up so many excuses on why I can't treat you right. But so let me ask you, 2 weeks before you go home, what's your mind state like?
I was just anxious, bro, because I already had my life on track at that point because I was in a pre-release. So I was already installing good values into myself and good morals. You get what I'm saying? Like good work ethic. You know what I mean? Just showing up even when you don't want to show up. I was really prepared for it this time around. My first time I wasn't. I just went home and was like, I'm selling drugs and that's it. Ain't nobody telling me nothing. But this time around, I had so much more to prepare for, bro. And you know, being a dad is everything to me. I always tell everybody this, man. I'm a father before I'm anything, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a father before I'm a friend. I'm a father before I'm a brother. Whatever. I'm a father. So just looking forward to that day of seeing my daughter again was amazing. And if y'all ain't never seen that first picture I took with my daughter, it's on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. I was crying. She was crying. Because I was free and she knew her daddy was going to be there to protect her every strength and every way, bro. You get what I'm saying? Right. So that's what I was looking forward to. And now, as I sit here and talk to you, I'm in my own space. You get what I'm saying? I'm in my own home. I got my own car. I work nonstop. You feel what I'm saying? Right now I'm hurt. I'm out of work, but you know, that's another thing. But you know, I'm out here about to take trips, about to do things with my life and just better who I am as an individual and trying to speak the word to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I love coming on here because I love talking to you, but I want people to see that the change is real and everybody who knows me knows that I'm different today.
And why is that so important, bro? Why is that so real, bro? And like, why should people care? Because everybody's so, you know, everybody's so interested in the violence of prison and, you know, the rugged, hard life in the war stories, but people don't care much about, you know, like this to me is real as fuck. Like, this is something I would listen to because I've been there. I've been through all that shit. And I know this is the type of shit that, like, this is real. This is for me. This is what I want to hear. You know what I mean? I've been through the war stories. I've seen the war stories. I don't need to hear them again. But yeah, man, this shit's fucking hard, bro.
I mean, a lot of the things we talk about, though, Matt, it's things that people want to do, but don't have the balls to do it.
Yep, absolutely, brother.
You get what I'm saying? So what gave him the courage? Why did he do it? Yep. You know what I mean? Like, What was he thinking? Boom, boom, boom. No, motherfucker, I was thinking the same thing that you was thinking, but you just was too scared to do it. I
Right.
did it. You get what I'm saying? But the reason why I like to talk about change is because in prison, we're looked at as savages. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, you got the whole picture fucked up. You got it messed up because not everybody in prison is a savage, bro.
My word, they ain't.
Not everybody in prison is getting it in. That's like 10% of the prison.
Word. Yep.
You know what I mean? Other dudes is trying to get by. Some are trying to make money. Some are trying to read books. Some are trying to go to school. It's so much more to prison than what they're falsifying about us, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you've been through hell, and look at you.
Word. Trying.
Look at you. Hey, there's so many times where you were shot down that you could have went back to the street. But no, you thugged it out. You put on your big boy pants. You strapped on your boots, and you trucked it through, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Why? Because prison gave you that.
I think I had it built in all the time, but you know what? Prison solidified it in me. It gave me, it gave me a decision. I could either let it crush me and break, or I could, fortify, bro, and fucking dig my feet in, bro, and just be that motherfucker that I need to be for myself and for my family and for everybody around me. Word.
Yeah, man. I just hope one day, man, we can get some youngins on here, man, and really have a real conversation with them. You feel what I'm saying? Ain't got to be disrespectful. It just got to be real. You feel me? Because a lot of people look up to the W number. A lot of people watch the W number. A lot of people don't know the individuals on the W number. You're just hearing their story for the first time. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, this right here can change people's past, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Like you got a man that just came on here. You got your buddies that are over there and doing podcasts, and you got your buddies over there that's working real jobs and got sneaker stores. And then I got my buddies who's doing things that going to college, representing colleges, that own construction businesses, all that. And they all a part of the W number, bro. There's way more to the W number than prison. Because,
I was just saying that too. Word. I was just saying that this is so much bigger than myself now. It's like people come here because of what the W number represents, and not just to hear me talk. Because like you can hear anybody talk. There's a message behind it, and there's a meaning, and it's almost like, what gives a war the most lethal factor, right? And that's religion, that's faith, that's what you feel inside about something, right? What gives this? It's fear. Like what gives this the deadly factor, bro, is the fact that it's what it means. You know what I mean? It's what you feel about it. It's not like exactly what we're saying or exactly what we're doing. It's about what it means, bro. And I feel like that hits differently. You know what I mean? Than most of these other podcasts.
Hell yeah, man. It's real. It's real. It's not fake. It's nothing's hidden. You can ask me any question. Anybody got a question they want to ask me? I don't give a shit what it is. I'll answer it.
Word.
Ain't nothing too sensitive. Ain't none of that. And I won't censor anything. So if you got a question, you ask it, I'll answer it, man.
Just be prepared, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want a real answer. Don't ask a real question, right?
Yeah. So please, if you ask a question, man, let me know. Because that's what I'm here for. I want to do this. I want to be a part of this. You know what I mean? I want to represent this W number in the realest way possible. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell my whole story in an hour. I can't tell my whole story in 2 hours. I don't even think there's enough fucking paper to tell my story. You get what I'm saying? Because I could be here all day. But what I do know, man, is that every day that I wake up is another day for me to create a better path for myself and those that are around me, bro. You know what I mean? And everybody who looks up to me as a real motherfucker, just know when I tell you something, it's going to be real, 100% real. You might not like what I got to say, but just know that my thoughts that come out of this mouth are my best advice to anybody. You get what I'm saying? And I'm never going to tell you to go do something that I wouldn't do myself.
Yo, let me ask you something about that, right? Being in prison, did you ever have to deal with either convicts or cops telling you to do something you didn't want to do?
Oh, yeah, man. I never really had convicts telling me to do something I didn't want to do, but I had cops trying to tell me to do something that I want to do. You know what I mean? And
what's one situation where you felt like they put you on the spot and you didn't want to do something?
All right, so you want like Negative or yeah, they're
Either
both
one,
negative. It
gotta
doesn't
be
even matter.
negative.
All right, so check this out, man. One day I was going down to the visiting room, man, and there was this officer down there, right? And he ended up pummeling one of the dudes out, but the dude was no good. You get what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
sitting there watching the motherfucker literally pummel him. The cops pummeling him. He's not no small dude. He's literally pummeling this dude. So the cops like, yo, you better not say nothing. I'm like, bro, listen, don't ever talk to me, bro. You don't have to say shit to me, mama. And you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, you don't ever gotta say nothing to me, motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm walking out the visiting room. The dude comes out. I guess this dude pummeled his body. He didn't even hit his face. So I get called down like 2 weeks later. And they're like, yo, IA wants to see you, investigation, internal investigation, whatever the fuck that is, wants to see you. I'm like, yo, listen, I ain't got nothing to say to them, bro. You feel me? I ain't got nothing to say about them. He's like, yo, but they want to talk to you. I'm like, yo, well, tell them I don't got nothing to say to them. What the fuck they want to talk to me for? I don't got nothing to say to them. I don't know why they're coming to talk to me. So I go up there. I'm in the IPS office. You know, in the back of the IPS office, they got like this investigation room. So I'm like, yo, what am I up here for? She was like, yeah, you was in the visiting room. Somebody got beat up by a police officer, and I want you to tell me what he did to him. I said, listen, check this out, bro. I don't know what you came here for, but you ain't come here for a statement from me because you ain't getting nothing from me, bro.
Right.
She was like, oh, you know, I know you was there. I seen the video camera of you standing right there. She was like, do you mind if I turn on the tape recorder? I said, I don't care what you tearing on the tape recorder or not. I said, you ain't gonna get no words out of me. So that tape recorder is gonna be blank.
Yo,
so she's like, okay, I'm gonna turn on the tape recorder. So she turns on the tape recorder. She was like, yo, do you know this officer? I'm like, I don't really know him. I see him in passing. You get what I'm saying? You know, just to breeze her by. She's like, has he ever did anything to you? I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. He's like, the officer. I said, ain't no officers ever do nothing to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She goes, did you see him beating up somebody? I'm like, bro, I just told you I didn't see anything. Why are you trying to ask me anything on a recording? I'm not telling you nothing. You're not getting nothing out of me. She was like, all right, interview over.
Right.
So as she presses the interview, she was like, oh, you can tell me now what not on. I said, yo, you don't get what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you shit. I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. I don't hear nothing. You understand me? So as she opens the door to the thing, one of the IPs right there, right? So who's that? VO 38. All right, what up, my guy? So make a long story short, right? They open up the door, and the IP was like, how did it go? She goes, oh, he wouldn't tell me nothing. He goes, we been told you that. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, they try to get me to tell. You understand what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, listen, in prison, bro, you don't hear nothing, you don't see nothing, you don't speak nothing, bro. Nothing comes out of your mouth, you're sealed shut, bro. And the reason why I say this and I brought this situation up is because a lot of motherfuckers feel like because it has to do with cops that it's not telling. And I'm like, bro, listen, to me, anytime you open your mouth about anything,
telling.
It's telling, bro.
And it's all with fact. Yeah, I mean, you're telling on something.
How many one-hitter knockouts in prison? I got a few of those, bro. I got a few of those.
I got about that's what people are here for.
I got about good 10 of them motherfuckers, man. I remember, I'll tell you one story. I remember one day there was this bookie, bro. I'm not gonna put his name out there, you feel what I'm saying? Because I ended up making amends with him and shit like that. But he was crushing me on March Madness, and this was in Walpole prison. He was talking mad shit to me in the gate. So he was like, yo, man, you know, I'm going to be eating all your commissary, all your food, boop, boop, boop. And I'm in block 3 at the time. You know, that's a DSU block.
Yep.
So I'm tight, dog. I'm steaming, bro. He literally got me for every book, every soup, everything, bro. So I'm like, yo, listen, nigga. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Stop instigating me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, stop playing with me. He's like, nah, nigga, I'm getting that bag. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're getting that bag. I said, when this door open, I'm getting my bag back. How about that? He was like, nah, you ain't getting nothing back. I'm like, yo, word life, nigga. As soon as this door opens, everything I just gave you, bro, I'm getting it back. He was like, yeah, all right. So they opened the door for Chow. Bro, as he opens the door for Chow, bro, you know, they slide open. I walk right in the sun, like, yo, what up? Where my shit at, nigga? He's like, you ain't get your shit back, nigga. I hit the nigga. Boom. He was like, out cold. So now I grab my bag, I go and put it back in my cell, but dude, he's still out. So I go downstairs to grab my tray. As I'm walking up the stairs, he's kind of like wiggling through. He's like, yo, for real, nigga, that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. So I'm like, nigga, I already told you, bro. You know what it is, bro. The door's about to open for rec. We can get that. Check that shit in at the door if you want, my nigga. But you ain't getting nothing back from me, bro. So the door opens up. I go in his cell. I'm like, what's up, nigga? You wanna run that back? You think you can really rock with me? He was like, yo, bro, that's fucked up, dog. You did that to me. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, yo, bro, I ain't in here to talk, my nigga. You was talking mad shit. I told you to stop, bro. It's game over, my nigga. Anything you want to do from this point on, nigga, we can do it.
Right.
And, hey, no bullshit. He took a crazy shot.
Yeah, in fact, that is a major shot,
He
bro.
took a crazy shot. I knocked him out, took my food back, walked by him twice, my nigga, and he still ain't do nothing. So I was like, nigga, you all set.
Yo, you remember Corey, the
What
fat
Corey?
store dude in the OU block in Bridge, Old Colony?
Oh yeah.
Remember I
He
knocked
used
him
to
out
always
in the
chill.
store?
Yeah, he used to always chill with that big white boy. What was his name?
Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, but he told on him too, bro. Yo, this shit was mad crazy, bro. So right, we're drinking one night, and my bottle goes missing. I come back from meds. I'm like, yo, I tell Otis, I'm like, where the fuck is my bottle at? He's like, I don't know. I didn't touch it. So I said, oh, yeah? So I walk down the tier, and I'm walking to Mikey's cell. Mikey lives right next door to him. And I look over to the right, and I see an empty Sobe bottle, right? Now I'm wasted. So I'm like,
that's my bottle.
Yo, so I go in there, it's empty. So I'm like, oh, this motherfucker wants to steal my bottle. So I took his whole store, right? And I bring it to my cell. I take all the shit out of his locker, throw it in his laundry bag, right? Fill his whole laundry bag up, go to my cell, which is like 2 cells away, put it in there. And then I wait for him to come back from meds, right? He comes back from meds, right? He's walking up. And I'm like, he goes to his cell. I see him go in his cell. So I start walking down there. And he comes back out real quick, looks around, and goes back in there. And so I walked in. And I said, hey, you know that store you had? And he was like, yeah. I was like, it's my store now. He's like, nah. And yo, he picked up his cane, dude, right? He picked up his cane. So I snatched his cane. I said, what the fuck you gonna do with that, you stupid motherfucker? I said, you know what? Matter of fact, I handed him the cane. And I said, go ahead. And he was like, whoop, he like wound up like he was gonna do something. So I hit him with a left hook, right? Knocked him out cold. Bang, he hits the bed. Bro, I split his mouth open in the front. And so he gets back up and he goes to like walk past me and push me with the cane to like go to my cell, it looks like, right? So I opened him, smacked him with I opened hand, smacked him, knocked him out again. It was actually with my left hand again. I hit him with my left twice. Boom. And then it was a left hook, then a left smack. I knocked him out both times, bro. And then after he woke up, I told him, I sat him down. I brought him to my cell. I said, you see all this stuff, right? It's a big old pile, bro. He had like, it was a pile of canteen up to my chest. And I'm like, yeah, bro. So I was like, once I flip this all around, as you give it some time, you're a good dude, bro. You don't act up. You don't tell on me. I might give you a back, bro. Just, you have a little inventory list in there. I was like, you know what I mean? You just keep that in your mind. I said, you act like a good dude. I don't get told on. I said, someday you'll get that shit back, right? But not today, right? And he was like, oh, man, why you want to do this, bro? Right? So I said, you know what, bro? How about this? I crumpled up the little paper. I threw it at him. I said, you ain't getting shit now. You know what I mean? You want to bitch about it, bro? And you want to bitch about it, you fat lame? First of all, he was a rat, right?
Yeah.
And the cops told me that he was a rat. So they told me he dropped a note on Mikey, bro, on Mikey about having books of stamps. Too many books of stamps in his cell. I was laughing. I'm like, that's what you're telling on, books of stamps. Mass
Those are crazy.
That's the type of people that are over there in Old Colony, though. You get a mixed bag with them.
Yo, my best knockout ever, though, I will say, came out of Plymouth House of Correction, bro. It came out of Plymouth House of Correction. That was my best knockout ever, bro. The dude was snoring in the air, bro. We was playing basketball. And this is a big boy, bro. But every time I would drive the ball on him, bro, he would push me. He wouldn't even, like, go up with me. He would just push me. So I'm like, yo, bro, play basketball, bro. Play basketball. He was like, I'm playing basketball. So I'm like, yo, pushing is not playing basketball, bro. You feel what I'm saying? He was like, I'm playing basketball. I'm like, all right, in my mind, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, you're playing basketball? So I'm on a fast break. He's down there again. So he pushes me. So when I get down, you turn around real quick. I'm like, yo, what did I tell you about pushing me? He was like, what you gonna do? I hit him. Boom! Hey, yo, when I tell you, Matt, he was like this in the air
Yeah.
till he hit the floor, bro. But I pummeled him so bad when he hit the floor, bro. Yo, the gym cop thought old boy was deceased, bro. He wasn't even moving. Every time I hit him, his head would be pounding off the floor. Bang, 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 right? But I'm facing a murder at this time, so I don't really care what happens. I'm like, bro, I'm already going to jail for life. It is what it is. Boom, boom, boom. But I'll never forget that murder, bro. Because the day that I seen him after that, bro, he looked like he got beat up by 10 people, bro. Swear to God, no line, no nothing, bro. If my Cody was on this line right now, he was like, yo, Rob, when that dude came to the block, I thought somebody jumped him, bro. That's how bad it was. But that was my greatest knockout. I'll never forget it. He'll never forget it either, bro.
Yo, no bullshit. I swear to God, I think, you knocked. Yeah, you knocked. I seen. I'm not even gonna say who it is, but you knocked the dude out when I was in DYS. I remember that shit. Yeah, you've been knocking out for a grip, dude. Yeah.
Hey, that. I kind of feel bad now that I did that, but it's like,
Nah,
bro,
he's a
listen,
grown man, bro. Don't even say that because he wouldn't feel bad for himself, bro. He's a good
Yeah.
motherfucker. You know what I mean? He's a stand-up dude.
Nah.
Okay, Kicker's calling in. Hold up.
Okay, then let him in.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, pal?
What's up, Kicker? I'm good, man. I'm here with my boy Rob. We were doing an interview, but now we got you, bro.
What's good, brother? How you?
Yeah, Rob said, what's going on?
Same shit, just fucking, just got out of lockdown. Just had a fucking, had a 4-on-5 fucking yesterday, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I just jumped in the shower and shit. Come on, yeah. I'm fucking M1, so you know how it is over there.
Yeah, so what happened, though? What happened with the 4-on-5?
Oh, and I've been just fucking these kids going back and forth. The kid killed somebody, and the guy that killed him, fucking dog talked to the kid. Awkward. So, yeah, it's pretty, it's all crazy.
Yeah.
But, I was just, city shit,
Yeah.
Stuff, whatever.
So,
But,
what's going on in the Max, man? People want updates about what's going on over there and shit.
oh yeah, fucking, they're trying. They gave us our TVs and shit. They turned it N1 back into Walpole where they're gonna put all the guys from the low side back over here, but they want us to not have a freeze up for at least a month, which ain't never gonna happen because we have 3 a week. And they still got the guys with the suited up with the fucking guns and all that nonsense. So they're like right in. They blast a couple kids with that. Like even when they handcuff, you know what they use up here now? They use them fucking sticks, the zap sticks.
Zap sticks?
They've been using them though.
What?
They got the little things. They're like little black iron poles or whatever.
Like a cattle prod?
No, not shocker.
No,
Some guns too, but I haven't seen them yet.
Oh.
What's usually used now is like the paintball with the fucking couple balls, So it's like, whatever. But what else? Fucking, I don't know, same shit up here. No, I know that. Fucking, I told you, like I was telling you about my situation. They got me. Remember too. Remember back in P2 when I ended up getting that fucking network that acted like a fucking fool when I ended up getting them.
Yep.
And I got 8 years to you for it, right?
Yeah.
So remember, I told you, bro. So when my weed, you go to the weed where all the clubs all watching the video, so they all were in there watching it, and then fucking this is like this is 2002, 2009, this is 2009, bro. And I didn't realize it, but they charged me with a 1-1 murder of another. So I think, all right, well the guy's still alive. He's in fucking or wherever. Right? Every guy that I get into it with, they end up getting the fucking media. So he said that they all get to go down on the media. But why I stay here? But this is what happened. They charged me with a fucking murder of another. So I got found guilty of it. So then I go and they gave me 8 years TDU. That was right after my case. So they basically wanted to bury me. And what they did is, how it works. Like you remember with Mikey and them guys, and Chad with the fucking Soccer Ball City with that fucking store guy.
Yep.
They, they're all stuck in here. They're all, if you kill another dude in the joint, you cannot go to a median.
Right.
That's like the fucking thing, right?
Yep.
So now I go up to the fucking family and I say, hey, well, I only got 2 fucking points. I don't got no points. The last guy I got was the kid should be the fucking, you know, he was raping a bunch of homeless ladies down in fucking Bath, and he fucking come up here, whatever. So, you know, I ended up getting into it with him, and yeah, that was fucking almost a year now. So I can't go to a medium because they charged me with murder of another, and that dude, he's still a fucking lie.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, bro.
So that's what's stopping you, huh?
Yeah, you remember? I always used to think that they did that bullshit like public official.
Yeah.
But it wasn't public official, it was murder of another.
Really?
And I'm like, how the fuck? You remember the guy's alive? Like, it's such bullshit. But like,
well, you know that. You know why that is, Kicker. You know why that is. It's because you're in there for killing a CO.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. No fuck.
There's nothing to do with that.
Kicker don't remember me. We was in the hole together in Plymouth, bro. He was in the corner cell.
Do you remember Rob? He said you were in the hole with him in Plymouth.
What's up?
He said you was in the hole with him in Plymouth. What were you doing? You fed in Plymouth?
No. Because when I got discharged, they only said they put me in the hole and played with the cameras out. So I was like for 20, like the first year, they never during my trial they wouldn't let me out the population. So I was right here on that fucking terrorist shit, like the shoe bomber. The way I could only come out of rehabilitation, all that bullshit. And then I filed in court and they said, all right, well, we don't want it to up here. So they sent me out to fucking Middleton. And I go to fucking Middleton. When I get to Middleton, I'm there. I'm like, they put me in 120p, which is like half block in. Anyone that's been to Middleton knows. I met a wicked bunch of kids there. A lot of Lynch kids, a lot of them all good dudes.
Yeah.
And anyways, I was down there. One day I go to fucking get my gun. Some lady at the nurse station starts fucking out. And I'm like, man, you all right? And she's like, and then the cop came on and she goes, what did you say to her? I say fucking shit to her. What do you mean? And she goes, they grabbed me, right? So it was the fucking dude's ex-girlfriend, the CO, because he used to work in South Bay and he was the a sergeant in the medical department. So like that's her, right? Whatever, okay, that's my dad. They come there like, yeah, we don't want you here. We're sending you to fucking, they sent me to Dartmouth. I go down to Dartmouth and I got a bad canteen. They're like, we're throwing, no, you can't have the canteen. You go into the hole and we're going to send you another. I'm like, dude, there's none left. I mean, another, like going to jail for my trial. And so they're like, oh, we're going to throw your shit away. I had like $80 worth of canteen. I said, nah. And I see two fucking runners over there, like, licking their lips, like, thinking they're going to get all my canteen. You know, they work at Brooklyn. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm throwing every fucking thing away. I sat there for like 20 minutes, ripping every suit, every tonic. It was a mess. And then it was funny because at the end of the conversation, he gave me a fucking broomstick and a thing. And he goes, go ahead, that's your, it was a mess. I just got, I don't fucking work here. I threw it in the fucking trash. You know, I was like, they took me to the hole. I stayed there for 3 days. They find some foot stuff. When I get to work, they're like, all right, we're going to let you all. And I don't have my first fucking, like, you know, during all this fucking every hole with my name. I end up fucking a worse. So I had to, you know, put a knife in myself. And I go to the hall, and then I meet a bunch of good kids, and like, you know, whatever, I do my bit. Everyone that knows me knows how I am, not a fucking piece of shit. You know, as much as they say, and, you know, at the end of the fucking day, I got a fucking bar fight with 4 fucking bullies, and one of them just happens to be a deputy sheriff, and I'm a truck robber, bank robber, fucking Charlestown. Right. So I got fucked, you know? Yep. I still kill people.
Let me ask you a question, Kicker. Yeah. Someone said in the chat, they said this kid Zazzy just hung himself in Shirley Max. What's going on with that?
Yeah, he just killed himself. Yeah, he did. He was in the fucking hole over here. The hole is fucking, yeah, he just killed himself. Basically, he was hung up, right? So they knew he was in there. They said he was faking, but the kid was really dead. And they just went in and got him out of there. But they try to claim that themselves, you cannot hang yourself in themselves. And the kid was like, I'll throw you again. And he did. Now he's dead. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fucked up. That was right. That was in M1. The new horse. This is what they did. They opened that building, that fucking torture chamber. And they said, yeah, this is going to be BDU. But it was all a gap by DOC. What they ended up doing was, they said, no, we're going to keep this as our hole. Because the hole again, I don't know if you were there, man. Yeah, I think you were, right?
No, M1, they were just opening it and building the rec decks out in between N1 and M1 when I was leaving and shit.
Okay, well, you know those, because you know what BDU, the South were in BDU,
Yeah.
Remember, like everything, like they were like that, you know, except without the cement, they got those fucking tables. They're like, you know, probably been in some. They're like, you know, I don't know, they're like at an angle, like you can't even eat food on it because it slides down or whatever.
Right.
But no, I remember, yeah, all the DDU guys, they moved them up to the fucking hole up in J3. They're all up there chilling. Yeah, J3 and K3.
So all the guys waiting. That's an actual DDU tier, or just waiting to go to DDU?
No, that's DDU. They don't call it DDU no more. You know how they do it. Every year they shut down these fucking buildings. The judge says you can't have these gang units, so they add 3 different fucking letters for the name of it.
Right.
So like UBMU fucking AU FG fucking.
Yep.
I don't even know. I just call them gang units. Like that's what they are. But
yep.
you know that's where you go. Shit, you know?
That's how they get over on the. That's how they get over on the courts. That's how they get over on the society. That's how they get over on everybody.
100%. That's the thing, right? You say what you want, right? I know the deals in and out my whole life. I know it's like, you know, stay whatever. But for the last 20 fucking years, that's a lifetime. And I see how everything's done. It's just a fucking total bullshit. It's just a setup, man. It's like whatever. But like me personally. Like, why can't I get without fucking ice cream? You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hear? Hey, remember I was telling you? You want to know how cynical these motherfuckers are?
Yeah.
So they had a program in 94.5. Remember I was telling you about? It was called Behind the Wall. And
this is great. Listen to this, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so my boy, we're all young. It's like, hey, listen to this. So I'm listening. They got this kid, all these different dudes writing letters. Like, what the fuck is it? He's like, dudes from the joint, they read their letters.
Hollywood started that.
Jam stamp, right? So he's like, yeah. So, hey, watch out, I'm going to jam stamp. So I wrote a letter, and I write again. I'm like, hey, I'm up here, man. I say your state, everything is good. You have the wall and stuff. That's awesome. I said, yeah, I'm up here. I'm the maximum security correspondent up here in the Max. I'm just letting you know we got a program up here we call it Dancing with a Gangsta. And what we do is when people have differences, we do dance battles. And that's how we fucking settle beefs up here. So she's reading this letter, right? And she's like, wow, that's fucking awesome. Oh, you can't believe it. Hey, that's a pretty good thing. Yeah. So then everyone starts calling and right? She said, man, I think I just got jam scammed from behind the wall. So boom. So, but now they won't say my name, so I write an apology letter that was funnier than the first letter. So then they read that letter, and they're like, yeah. So Ashley with 2 T's, that's what it's called. Something like that. And basically, she read that letter, and then she would call me Pinocchio because I fucking write crazy, funny fucking letters to the thing. Every week they read my letters.
Yeah.
But because they didn't want to. I talked to her on the fucking on freeway, like just to my cousin Dave, and basically what she said is, yeah, fucking, you're funny and stuff, but like we gotta shut it down. And she's like, I'm like, well, what's the deal? What? She's like, because 2 homicide cops from Boston Homicide went to the station and said, hey, you know who the fuck that is? You got all of us laughing at these fucking letters with Kid Pinocchio. Come to find out it's fucking kicker. And they're like, oh, what the fuck? And they shut it down. And she was like, she apologized. I said, but, you know, I like, you know, they got to know, like, you know what I mean? You know me, man. You know me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the best kicker, man. I there's nobody that deserves to be free more than you, buddy. Yeah.
Ice cream down on. So I say, yeah, like, I'm in the gang unit. I'm the only guy in the gang unit that ain't in the gang. They're all young kids. They're all like 20, 25-year-old kids. I get along with everybody, but it's like, all my friends in the media playing fucking bocce and eating fucking hot dogs.
You know what's cool is that you're doing a life sentence in Sousa Bear now. So you're in prison doing a maximum security. You're in maximum security. Probably, what are you in your cell right now?
No, I'm actually out of rec right now. I just came out with my challenge. We just opened back up.
Okay, cool.
But,
But it's cool that you get to like this. This is a good the reason why I'm saying is just to point out the fact that this is the 1 year anniversary of the W number. And you got people calling in from doing a life sentence, getting a little bit of play and some airtime, changes their day, makes a little bit of exposure and shit. And I think it's just dope ass thing, man, just to be able to put you on here and let people hear you and shit.
Yo, it's fucking awesome. Get the light, fucking get us to the promised land.
Yeah, bro.
People here and they see and they want, they really and see, like especially with this rehabilitation that's going on, right? Everything that they've been doing, I've been saying it for years. I'm like fucking, on Facebook, Instagram, wherever the fuck all that shit is, and I put it out there, and it's like listen, they think like the homicide knows how to make crime into a murder. They know how to do it because they've been doing it for years, and that's what they do. They take autopsy and they go in there and they manipulate them. They had blood smears, and they made a case that was nothing more than a fucking self-defense, like a self-defense case into a fucking murder because the guy was a deputy sheriff and his whole family's law enforcement, Boston police, and they did so much shit, right? I just go quick because they know it too if they hear or whatever. But they let them come in the night I got arrested. They had the brothers come into the fucking behind area and fuck while I was handcuffed no less and fucking beat the shit out of me. And he's like crying. He's like, you feel like? I'm like, I'm fucking not yet, bro. I'm like, you done yet? You fucking done? And he kept punching me, and then like I headbutted the clock behind me for them. And like shit like that. Like in my case, everyone that went to my trial, man, 1,000, everyone thought I was walking out that door. Because dude, my jury was out for 11 days. That's not normal. And I was like, okay, I'm back for a first degree murder and here's another little tidbit of funny shit. The guy's hockey coach, right? His hockey coach was the bailiff that was in charge of my jury throughout my whole trial. It came out that he was the victim's hockey coach. Now, anyone that's grown up in Boston, fucking neighborhoods, was everywhere, they know everyone, your hockey coach is your second dad.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. That's fact. So that's who was in charge of my jury. And which is insanity. The lady that was typing my transcript was his fucking aunt. Was his aunt, bro. A relative of a fucking guy that I'm going to try and murder.
Sounds like you needed a change of venue. Sounds like you needed a change of venue, Kicker.
They won't give it to me. They want to give it to me. And we asked the lawyers. I didn't get it. They know. The trial came back it should have been not guilty for self-defense, but at the very most, manslaughter. Even the judge said posted murder to self-defense case that I've never had. And he thought, well, do the right thing and do what it's supposed to do. But they didn't do that. What they did, they took, Lady Liberty has her fucking the blindfold off.
Yep.
He takes the fucking blindfold off when he calls one of them. And they do whatever the fuck they want. That's a fact. Like, this is my autopsy on himself. There's blood smears that they added his wounds. Anyone can look at that. There was three wounds. They made 7 wounds because the blood smears. And that's a fact. You look at it today, it's so outrageous that just saying it's like no fucking way. And I'll give it $1,000 to any fucking person that can come back and say right there, right then, that they can look at some pictures and say they're not blood smears. It's just kidding, but it's like, hey, let's talk about your fucking year anniversary, buddy. That's awesome stuff.
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm fucking proud of you. You're so lucky you're doing good, buddy.
Yeah, bro. So what's the word in there? You said that people were talking about the podcast. What's the word in there?
Yeah. They all listen to it. Hey, the cops sounds like something that was like, I think you should do then on like shit back. But they're like, listening to your thing. And I was like, yeah, I called. I was the boss. I could call in. Listen, he's like, don't say my name off the end. You know him too, but he's decent screw.
Yeah. Yes, salute to the decent screws, bro. So we need decent screws, bro. Let's not hate all of them, right? We gotta hate just the ones that suck, But yeah, man, salute to the decent.
This is what's crazy. Like all the screws that one minute left. They can't even they know I'm not a murderer. You know what I mean? They know it. I'm like, oh, whatever. They're all shitbags. that grew up in Boston that I have to deal with. And I did. And I did fucking 9 years, 100 move teams. I had more move teams than anyone else in the fucking system.
Yeah, bro.
Over 100 move teams.
I know. I remember you used to paint your face blue and call yourself what was?
I did Bred. I did blue mountain. I'm like, what can I do with this? I said, oh, I know what I'll do. And I painted half my face blue and talked to them. They told me I fought them. And yeah, it's hilarious. Pops, look at that video on when they're doing their, when they're rookies at the dude's like, hey, you ever got
Yeah. Hey, before it hangs up, hold up real quick. Before it hangs up real quick, Kicker, man, I love you, bro, and I appreciate you calling in, man, and giving us the update, bro. Anytime, man, anytime I'm live.
All right.
Tell everybody I love them too, man. Peace. Yeah, bro, that's my guy right there, Kicker, bro. I'm glad I got him on here tonight. Let's finish off with Rob real quick, man, and let's, the end of a great podcast, bro.
Yo, man, I just appreciate you allowing me to come back on here, man.
Yo, let's hear a good knockout story before we go.
Shout out to Kicker. I mean, all right, so I wasn't going to put this out there, but everybody talks about it, so I might as well talk about it. I don't talk about it personally, but this is the first time you're going to hear my side of the story. So I was in the county. There's this big-ass hulk of a beast man that's in there, and he's been bullying everybody for the last, 3 or 4 years. He was locked up for a homicide. They call him Moose. So I come into the block, you know what I mean? And he's literally got everybody terrified. I mean, terrified, man. Anybody who knows me, man, put it in the comments. You know what time it is, man. I had to shut him down real quick. You feel what I'm saying? Again, we was outside playing basketball. Big ass dude, about 6'4", maybe 290, maybe 300 pounds, but he was a beast, bro. He wasn't like no fat, sloppy dude. He was a beast. So he's crying about people hacking him or whatever. So you know me, I gotta talk my shit. I'm like, bro, you're 300 pounds, 6'4", bro. What the fuck do you expect people to do for you? You feel what I'm saying? He was like, yo, I don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers want to push me and talk shit. Da, 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 da. I'm going to stop fucking people up. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm running down the court. He's running past me. But you know how you do like that? You're just running past each other like that. He pushed me. So when he pushed me, anybody who knows, I hit that man with the meanest two-piece he's ever seen in his life. And to this day, he'll tell you he's never been punched that hard in his life. Bro, I literally collapsed this motherfucker. Had him leaking all over the yard, everything, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't talk about it. Anybody who knows me, they know about it. I'm infamous for fucking knocking niggas out. I just don't talk about it because there's no need for it. But it's talked about. It's very big. It's out there in the streets. It's out there in the prisons. It's everywhere, bro. You know what I mean? I still have respect for the individual. But at the end of the day, when you're a bully, you need to get bullied. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm here for, man. You know, Mike, you damn right. You fuck around, you lay around anytime. But I'm no longer on that part of my life no more. My chapter's a little different now. I love each and every individual who showed up here today to support us on this podcast, man. If you want to hear more, tap in. Let me know. Shout out to my man, Matt, because there's always could be a part 3. This is part 2. And like I said, man, I don't really want to indulge too much into the bad because I'm all about good now. And I believe that this W number is going to put us on the map, those that was in prison and those that are here outside of prison. So I want to shout out all my people that showed me love today. I love you, Lou, Good, Lee. What up, man? Missy, everybody that was on this chat. First and foremost, my man Matt for allowing me to get this part of myself out there to bring light to those individuals that are here. You know what it is. Freedom Faith Productions coming soon. Loyalty over love any day. New Bedford's finest. We in the building, and I ain't letting up at all. My foot is on the pedal.
That's what it is, bro. The foot is on the pedal. Okay, we ain't stopping, bro. The sky's the limit, man. I'm not stopping until I'm in the clouds. Yo, real quick, man. Check this out, right? You know my guy, dude. This dude's coming on tomorrow, Pat. His name's Pat S. And you guys are gonna come out and find his last name out when I do the interview. But he was in the marathon today and he got a gold.
Ooh, okay, then.
Word. So
that's what I'm talking about, man. Hey, yo, your 1-year anniversary. I'm very grateful to be here to share it with you, bro. I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. I see you. I'm proud of you. And I'm going to continue to big you up, share you, love it, comment, whatever y'all can do, man. Support my guy, bro. For real.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. And I want to send a couple of shout outs myself, being this is the 1 year anniversary to my channel. I couldn't have been here in this exact spot without my boy Bobby, without my, from the Bounce Back podcast. He got me that membership to the studio. And since then it's been rocking. I got to shout out my mother. First I should have said God, because without God, none of this is possible. Legitimately, none of this is possible. I could not be here. I could not be talking on camera. I could not be doing this without God on my with me at all times, bro. Right? He is not a weakness. He is a strength for me. And also, I'd like to shout out my mother and my brother, who's out now. He did his bid right alongside me, my co-defendant, on a home invasion. He ended up smashing a cop out when he was in there. He smashed out a couple, matter of fact. And he ended up getting more time and then coming home after me. And, I did that on my first bid. So it's kind of like he followed in my footsteps, bro. And I felt a little bad about that because it was like he was trying to live up to my name almost. But you know what? He made it through. He's out here now. He's, he fucked up from that bid, bro. That bid fucked him up. Ryan's bid was tough, bro. But, because he made it tough on himself like we all did. You know what I mean? Just wilding out. And before you know it, you had went so far that the cops all hate you. You're a knucklehead. That's what they think you. And then just like, shit, and it's just like it makes your bid a living hell. And then you learn on your second bid and you go back and you try to do it differently. You know what I mean? You get more grease and you do a fucking sandpaper, bro. But it's like, you slide by. But it's like, you know what? Sometimes you run into issues, bro, and these cops get disrespectful, and you just gotta do what you gotta do. And salute to everybody who does what they gotta do, bro. But I appreciate it again, man. Like I said, bro, salute to everybody who's helped me get to where I'm at today. Even the people that aren't here today, and you know who you are, bro. You guys, you was with me, man, and I don't forget you, bro. And just because we don't see eye to eye today doesn't mean that I don't still remember you and I don't have love for you, bro. And I do. I have mad love for every individual. I do not have hate in my heart today. And that's something I can say is definitely due to God. But I appreciate everybody for showing up tonight, bro. And like I said, man, respect, bro. And the W numbers on a mission, bro. Rob, thank you, bro, for showing up tonight and being here for my 1 year anniversary. It's been a great episode, man. It's great. Anytime I'm with you up here is great, bro. Me and you grew up together in the DYS system, in the state system, and out here on the streets. And we're both trying to do something different now, something major, something that'll help other people and help ourselves at the same time, bro. So salute to you, bro. And if you guys want a great haircut, check my man right here out. He's doing haircuts. He comes to you basically, but you gotta, money gotta be right, bro. But he's a savage with the haircuts, man. Beast. So
100%. And just so y'all remember, these are retired but not expired. You understand me? I love y'all, man.
Peace, man. Yo, W number. Ow!
Yeah, I still got that metal knuckle.
All right, Rob, man. It was great, bro.
Love you, bro.
Yes, sir.